This mind cannot be broken.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Yo,
This is a technical difficulty show already.
there's no technical difficulty. Bring me on.
And I stopped saying it. Oh.
You got a green logo for your icon, sir.
Green logo.
Sir,
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Uh,
I'm completely. He's out of there.
I didn't even get to dance.
Oh no. JY is in the building. Salute. What's up, fam?
Shout out. We just got some technical difficulties right now, but we gonna
I'm right there.
push it.
I'm right here.
Okay.
Look at me.
Hold on. Yeah. He back. Bring him back. Coming back to the stage.
Yeah.
Coming back to the stage.
Oh, what's happening on
Fading into the Afrofuture.
Oh,
What up, though?
I'm trying to. Oh, stop,
man.
Oh wow.
Well,
look at that.
Yo, it's an exciting day,
It
y'all.
is.
Autofocus is fighting you right now, big dog.
It was. Now it's on our team. That's what we do with the good vibes. You know what I mean? People are fighting us, and then we just bring it back into the on our team, or banished. So we didn't have to banish the autofocus.
Greetings and gratitudes.
Oh yeah. The robot. Do the robot. Talk show on point, y'all. I gotta open up my chat.
Is that on point? Talk show on point.
Yeah. What are you grateful for, Ivy?
Me?
You.
Am I grateful? I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for the
good way to be.
Air in my lungs. Oh, nice. Getting attacked by. Okay, I don't want to make sure. I want to make sure I ain't getting cut out. But yeah, I can still breathe.
Oh no. Did everybody fam in the comments? I see through TV. I know, right? Copy that blur. Did everybody hear everything that Ivy said? Or was it just me?
Nah, it was probably me. My should stop getting out now.
Oh man. Okay, bet. No, it was cutting out. Okay, better cows now. It sounded like you were saying you're grateful for that air in them lungs because you're not coughing, you're not doing the things a couple weeks ago.
I got a little cough. But it's not too bad. That is what I was saying. That I'm grateful for fill my lungs.
Cool.
That is definitely worthy. Shout out the comments. Grateful. Y'all, please share what you're grateful for. I was thinking something similar. Actually, I had mentioned that there's a family member who's unwell. So my self and the youths are planning to, as well as their grandma, are going to go see the family. And that's before a serious operation. So that's definitely a reminder to really remember to be grateful for when you're feeling well. You ever been when you feel really, really sick and you're like, oh my God. I think you actually mentioned that. And it's just like, I wish if I felt better, I'd be so grateful. Yeah. But then when you're normal, a lot of times you just feel normal. You know what I mean? Unless, you'd really take the time to be grateful for just being even. Some people need some action and then they're like, oh no. But that's why I'm grateful for our sessions where we contemplate on what we're grateful for as well. Rashanis, sister.
Oh yeah. Health is wealth. Always grateful for that. Real talk. It's one of those things you really should be grateful for it every day. Outside of that, I would also say family, community. Very, 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 very much so. I'm a little jelly. I see through TV is grateful for them frozen cookie dough ice cream center bonbons. I'm like, yo, that is not fair.
Grateful for my mouth watering.
For
Yo,
real. Like,
shout
what in the
out.
world? And
I
Jay,
see through. Onaji fam.
so seriously grateful for the second half of life, getting older and seeing my kids reach adulthood. It's a blessing for sure. Yeah, Trader Joe's be
Yeah.
on one. Yes, that's what's up. That's what's up. And grateful to be here. It's Culture Week. It's Culture Week.
Culture. Contemplating on culture.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
nice. As you said, say, about that grateful for the second half of life and kids growing. It just brings me back to thinking about hip hop and how just generally with many types of culture, people, especially when trying to monetize it or trying to objectify it from outside, is like they thought we should be a certain way. It needs to mature. So, I think it's a beautiful thing. Something I was listening to quick fast, there's this one indigenous nation in Vancouver area, very small, but they were fighting for the rights to their nation for so long. They finally won the rights to this plot of land right downtown. I want to visit. I want to see this place. And so they decided they want to make a mid-size. I'll make this fast. I know we got to get to our what's up section, but this is just a story about that same thing where basically they said we want to make a mid-size complex. We make some money, but we'll keep it, do a nice business, give people a place to live. Since a younger generation person came and said, why are we thinking so small? Let's make it a mad big 5-7 complex is something massive. So this is the part I wanted to tell you about. The NIMBYs started coming in, not in my backyard. Now they normally
coming here.
Huh?
The what started?
Oh,
NIMBYs.
sorry. NIMBYs, not in my backyard. So people who advocate, a lot of things do get slowed down because of, people who
Black Neighborhood Watch.
it's. Did you say black neighborhood? No. Usually not known to be a black thing. Known to be a middle class, upper middle class white thing. So they don't want sky-rise buildings, right? So here's the thing in this story. The important part was they designed these buildings and they actually made it look like mountains. They made it with their culture in mind, but it looks shiny and new and crisp, but it has this mountainous feel, like they're coming back symbolically, they said. And so people complained. They said, why would this group of people, I'm sorry, I don't know the particular indigenous group tribe, but they said that doesn't even look like it doesn't even look indigenous. In other words, the point of it is we're evolving. Culture evolves, and when you commodify, you look at what's African. You go to even Jamaica, they're carving things. They have this. They want to put us in a box, but we really need to evolve, be Afrofuturistic, be hip hop futuristic, etc. That's my long-winded. I'm done with that. Let's keep it moving.
That's what's up. I totally second that. If we control the narrative, that means the narrative is ours. So when other folks start pillaging and exploiting that narrative,
and
yes,
freezing time and freezing it.
For sure. I mean, yes, it's our responsibility to call it out, but it's also our responsibility to uphold what we know is true. So, I was watching this clip earlier, and the brother was comparing his sister who she had lungs on her for real. She was singing it up, and then he compared it to this other guy who was. I mean, this rap was trash. Like, it was horrible. And he said, "This is where we are. This is where we are," and it's so unfortunate because we have talented musicians out here that get no play. Or very little play. And of course that resonated, not just because I am who I am, but because I know so many talented artists who, are quote unquote struggling to be seen, to be heard, to be valued. And it just reminded me, like, you know, there has to be another reason why we do this every day, you know, outside of paying homage, of course, to the greats that came before us. In that spirit of what Jay Wise was saying, like, I'm so grateful to have come up in a time where hip hop was real. I'm so grateful, you know, where music, my family constantly played vinyl. Like, I'm so grateful to have been connected. All samples I hear now, I know exactly where they came from, you know?
I just want to one little. I hope, hopefully, I'm confident we'll be grateful to be living in a time when hip hop was real again.
I mean, I feel you. I think we will. I think we see it, but it goes back to what we've been saying all the time, and we're gonna digress and move on. I believe we have to keep these stories, and we have to do better about keeping them offline, writing them down, especially when we're talking about exchanges between our fellow artists. Like, we got to big them up. It's National Jazz Appreciation Month, National Poetry Month here in the States. So I'm going to try something this month where I'm really pushing dope people I know, you know, on my social media. Because, you know, social media is social media. But it's great to see us out here in our creative bags as often as possible. Support the artists you know first.
First and foremost.
First. The mainstream people don't need no help. Trust and believe. But anywho, we move on.
Word up. So we don't have Black Simon, right? He dropped
We do not
technical.
have Black Simon.
He's having some technical difficulties, but he did lead us to this beautiful young lady who is shouting out another beautiful sister. And we got to talk about this one. So,
Hey, can
yeah,
y'all hear me?
we can.
Oh, okay, cool. I was just, you know what I'm saying? Yo.
Cool display outside Barnes & Noble. It was this video. It was a display that said your next read based on a Sinner's character, and it had all the characters, the main characters, and these amazing, incredible recommendations. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, whose ever idea this was needs a raise. Like, these are amazing recommendations. This is such a cool concept, a really cool idea. And I posted the video and it went viral. It's going viral. And so many people are saying, oh, this employee needs a raise. Like, oh my God, this is really a cool concept. And it turns out the person does not even work for Barnes & Noble, and the display is news to them. Mind you, it's the exact concept, the next read based on a Sinner's character, and the exact book recommendations. And because I believe in giving credit to Black women in our ideas and our concepts, I'm taking this moment to highlight the person behind this incredible display. Her name is Dom. Dom D Reads on Instagram and D Dom Reads on TikTok. She posts reviews, she posts amazing book recommendations. And this is the Sinners post that she posted back in early March. And it looked like she put a lot of creativity, a lot of thought and effort behind this. It has a page full of thoughtful and creative lists and book recommendations. You guys, please check her out. Check out more of her work. Again, D Dom Reads on Instagram, D Dom Reads on TikTok. And Dom, I want to tell you that was an amazing curation of book recommendations, and it was such a cool concept, and I appreciate the work you do, and I think you deserve your credit.
Another thing I want to say, I understand that Barnes & Noble give each individual location like the freedom to do whatever display they want, I guess. So the blame is not really on them. I don't know. But I just want to say that regardless of whose fault it is, I think it's important to give Black women our credit for our ideas, our thoughts, our creativity, our work. No matter how small you think the idea is, give Black women our credit.
So I made a video about this cool
Factuals. Actual factuals.
Oh, man.
That's dope.
I have so much to say about this.
Uh-oh.
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 What?
Greetings and gratitude, everybody.
Yeah.
Gratitudes.
Greetings.
We going Black to the future? You have some greetings and gratitudes for us, Black Simon?
What did I miss?
Greetings and gratitude.
Do we get into the stories?
We just played the sister, your video, the sister who was shouting out the sister who had actually curated that Center's book list.
Yeah, that's dope. That is so dope. I worked in a bookstore for years, and I love to see the creativity of someone posting all of that stuff.
let's talk about let's talk about this for a second. So I love how she came at the end and said, you know, Barnes and Noble, they're all independently owned or what have you. I'm paraphrasing. And she said, you know, so it's really not their fault. I'm gonna trump that. Number one, it is their fucking fault. Excuse my English. Number two, it's not just Black women, even though, you know, I speak for us. It's also Black men. And I've known this to be true because there is a brother, his name is Troy Johnson. He runs the AABLC, the African American Literature and Book Club. And this brother had been curating a list of all of the independent Black bookstores across the nation for years. Years. What happened? Oprah all of a sudden published in one of her magazines this same list. And now I've seen it republished by Essence, where they have a Black bookstore finder on their website. Now, the problem isn't that we're putting out the information to, of course, support more Black bookstores. It's in line with our guest today, because we're going to talk about that. The problem is when someone has done the work to make it a thing, to make it accessible for us, that does need to be acknowledged, period. So the fact that she did this video, the video went viral. I don't know if the sister, because I'm yet to look her up because I'm reading so many books right now, but I don't know if the sister who actually curated that video has gone viral. But this is why it's so important for us again to write the narrative and uphold it. Because in this way, literacy, and I can't say enough, you all know how I feel about this. When it comes to us being highly literate and highly conscious, we have the keepers of stories, our ancestors, our elders to thank for that. So this was a very tasteful piece. Shout out to Black Simon for curating this one. But I want us to remember this throughout all of our disciplines. When somebody takes the time to do something, curate, you know, any kind of list, to gather any kind of information that we will now have better access to, that individual needs to be acknowledged, most especially if they Black.
Let me just back up for a second on that. I think you caught us something that I kind of was like, did she say? And then I just didn't. Like, she said that the person wasn't credited in Barnes and Noble or the major bookstore, right?
Right, because that's what they do. It's, you know, they're scrolling because they're looking for our ideas, what's trendy. And I saw that same email because I get Barnes and Noble's emails. They right after Sinners was like super, super big. I hadn't seen it yet. Symbolic knows this. I hadn't seen it yet. They did it. If you liked Sinners, you will love these books. And it was a whole email. And of course, you know, the goal was for you to shop or, you know, buy online and ship to the house. But yeah, knowing that was her work, and it was just, oh, okay, well, yeah, we'll just take this because we're, you know, it's in the vein of what we talk about all the time of creative control. So my ingenuity, my creativity, you know, this is situational, but all the things, all my work, it's like, okay, so you just took it and you made it seem like it was your whole thing. So yeah, that's exactly what she said.
But this is so regular, perpetual. This is what they've been doing
all the time. Yep. Which is why I want us to know, like,
yeah,
if you see something, say something. Don't let it, you know, because it's nothing new. It's just what they do. But when it comes to curating lists like this,
right?
Yeah, it's too important to not acknowledge.
I just want to add one thing. AI LLMs are that. I was going to say kind of. They are that. IV, you human, don't take it personal. AI is that because there's this.
It is. It is 100%.
Don't fight for them clankers as long as they clanking. He don't give a damn.
IV.
I'm cool with that as long as we say that Google is the same thing.
What?
And Yahoo and Bing is the same thing.
No, that's searching for the content. That isn't the content.
LLM does search for the content, and
No. It remixes it and then it doesn't accredit the original person. So there is definitely a difference.
Yeah, but the same thing occurs.
Come down
when you go and you read a book and you like a concept from that book and you use that concept in a different way that you add your own spin to it. That's literally the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's because you're a human being and you're not a corporation.
Listen. No.
Power dynamic.
There is a line though where you, just like Rashanis was saying, should credit where you got something. Don't act like you completely made it up. If it was inspired, maybe if there's some things that you don't know exactly, that's, it happens. But if you know where you got it, it should basically be your culture to credit, not your culture to steal and to exploit. And now when they're building billion-dollar enterprises, and I do have to say, welcome to Dr. Smart. We are going to give you a proper introduction momentarily. We're just in our WhatsApp section, but it's so beautiful to see your beautiful face, and I love to see that you're smiling. Yeah.
Mama made it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm so excited.
But no, I see 3. Is that what he said? I hear that.
Mama made it. Mama made it.
I love that. That's, you see, giving credit.
TEDx and on the talk show on point. Like, yo, I done made it. I see through TV says got to learn and teach each other how to protect our intellectual property in a world of social media, but maybe evaluate our relationship with ownership. For sure. It's part of a broader conversation. When it comes to, I am Coach Millie in the building, when it comes to thinking about the way we think about information, because we think of book club just a little bit ago, there was a chapter where it's a lot of elders talking about their experience with herbalism in, late 1800s, early 1920s. And these stories, of course, were passed down to their people. And so the stories were collected by the author and published. Had she not done that, this is no internet, right? We have to be curious. We have to be willing to receive the information. So in terms of how information is channeled, I mean, even from the beginning, the invention of, when you think telegrams, the telephone, we should just be a lot more concerned when it comes to how our information is disseminated, how it's exchanged, how it's, again, pillaged, how sometimes we're discredited for it. It's just, it's all tied to the identification of our culture.
Or it's undervalued until someone else is making money off of it. See in the chats, I see through says, you got to learn to teach each other how to protect our intellectual property in a world of social media. I would say social media, AI, in a world of exploitation, because if you think about it, mixtapes, you're running reggae, they ride on a rhythm. We do have a way of sharing and putting things out there. But when you're in a world like you say, social media, these systems that are exploitative, even our people exploit. Anyways, I know we're going to move right on, but I see through says, but also maybe evaluate our relationship with ownership. I 100% agree.
Just a little tidbit real quick. NVIDIA, the GPU company that essentially is powering partially the backbone of AI, their last generation of cards were called Blackwell. Called Blackwell because of black mathematician named David Blackwell. His ideas in like statistics and game theory theorem that he had, I can't remember the name of the theorem right now, but those laid the concepts or the foundation for what is now became built upon.
See what I mean? Standing ovation.
And the most valuable company in the world named their platform
Blackwell. I mean, they know who we are.
Mm-hmm.
They've always known who we are. Do we know who we are?
Exactly.
That's the question. And we here to answer it today. Okay. Well, I think it's time to introduce our wonderful guests. What do you say?
I think now is a great time.
Cool.
Hold
And
up,
so,
wait a minute. I need y'all to chill for a second.
Uh-oh.
well, you go.
Chill, baby.
To take a step back, to relax. Step back.
For a quick 20 minutes, just chill.
This gate is like, come on. I'm ready to break this gate.
This is a pause for the cause.
But you know what I'm saying? Just let me fix my settings up and we can go ahead and feel.
Once you stand there, people, once you get the energy that's still there, can I get a witness? Yeah. Those who witness, the energy is still there. I mean, this ain't some past stuff. Okay, it's still there. As much as they're trying to commercialize it.
Whew, well done.
Man.
You're not wrong.
He's always on point. For real.
I was trying, man.
You did it. You didn't just
you be doing it. You'll be trying.
Right?
For sure.
And
on that,
time,
ladies and gentlemen, please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their family, tell their people. Dr. Smart is here for those who are not acquainted. Yeah, our fams. Dr. Smart is a TEDx speaker, author, and creative entrepreneur whose message challenges us to see that what feels like the end of our story may actually be the beginning of our transformation. He is the creator of BURYU program, and his work spans digital art, wearable expression, writing, and more, including his novel From the Ashes of Tuskegee, all centered on reinvention, vision, and personal evolution. Yo, welcome, Dr. Smart.
Woo, woo, woo.
Hey,
Dr. Smart.
That was legit. Yeah, it was hot.
thanks for having me. I long time listener, first time in the space. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, so excited. And guess what? Not only are we excited, but this is a special moment. It is 8:29, 9:29 where you are. Black Simon is on camera. I am so full of myself right now.
It's not me. It's not me. It's somebody else. And I don't want to take away from our illustrious hosts. And
well, I was just saying, you came on camera for Dr. Smart. That's
why I'm here.
Appreciate it.
I had to show. I had to respect him by giving my face. I gotta hear what he's putting down. You gotta see my reaction.
Black Simon has no respect for us. He has respect for you, though.
Very little at this point, but nah, just I love everybody here. They're my family.
Enough love, yo. Yeah.
But Dr. Smart.
What's good? What's good, everybody? Good to see y'all.
Oh my gosh, we're so glad that you can make it. We know you've been, you're busy, you literally blowing up right in front of our eyes. So proud. We're going to get into it, but congratulations first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen. Outside of that, and that bio, really, I think it doesn't even scratch the surface. But that's why we have you with us here today. If folks don't know, you just did something major, a couple days ago, last week?
Yeah, last Friday.
Okay, do tell.
Kobe.
So I did my first TEDx talk. So on quantum leaping. So it's really I'm still soaking in it. It's I haven't even watched it or anything yet. For everybody asking, they have to edit it and then TEDx has to review and all that. So it'll be a while before it comes out. But I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, but it's
oh my God.
Yes, that is phenomenal. I knew it was going to take a while because I've had other, good friends who've had TEDx, but I knew it was going to take a while. But when I saw it originally, I was like, yo, this is so awesome. And it sounded like this has been one of your long-term or long-time goals. Talk to us about that. Why and what do you think? Having done the talk now, how do you think that's changed where you're going with everything that you've been able to do?
Well, what's crazy is that I help people like transition careers and things like that. So I was trying to give it to somebody to do the talk. So I was like, hey, your story would be amazing. You should do the talk. But the person said, like, I'm not ready to tell that truth yet. And so a friend of mine, she was going to do a tiny desk. And she was like, I'm doing the tiny desk. I'm just doing everything this year. I'm just doing everything if it comes across me. And she's like, you should do the same thing. So while we were talking, I had the email that I was trying to give to my friend about the TED Talk. I said, I'll just hand it in and see what they say. So then you had to do an interview and then you tell them what you're going to talk about. But I'm like, I'm just an everyday guy, so just handing it in was the win for me. I was like, just me handing it. And then it took a while for them to get back to me. So I said, I didn't get it, but I was still happy. I was like, you know what? I won because I handed it in. And then they're like, yeah, we got a couple weeks. You're in. Here's a class. You got to do. I was like, oh, man. Okay. So it was just like ready, set, go. And it was just been going up to that Friday, just practicing and putting stuff together. But it's after the talk, I'm just kind of still just in the wow, I happened. Like I'm still in like the whoa, what happened? But yeah.
Very nice. Look, wasn't even sometimes, the multiverse be having plans. The multiverse be having plans. And that's what's up, because you saying, I wasn't even trying to do it. But in that vein of 2026 being a 1 year, it's time for all leaders to come to the front. All the foolishness in the back, please. So I love that you rethought it, like, well, let me just go ahead and do it. Now, career transition, that wasn't on your bio, but okay.
Yeah, I'm 4 different people sometimes.
I feel you. That's why we have to be multi-talented. That polymath spirit, it does get us somewhere. So the talk, you think it went well? Do you think you had the jitters? Because it's all eyes on you. Despite the practice and the coaching and so forth, do you think you did, like, are you happy with your result?
I went into it because you don't have a teleprompter or you don't have cue cards. You just got to straight up talk. And it was like, wow. So I talked like 9 minutes, 30. So it was a lot. But when I first did it, they were like, it's too technical. And then when I did it, put it down, I was like, well, maybe kick it up a bit. So it was just like playing with it up to the point. And so I felt that I wanted to say more, but at the end, people came up to me like, oh, I resonated with that. That was like a really good. So all I said when I went up to the stage is like, if one person connects to the story, then it was a win. So like maybe 5, 6 people in the crowd came and they're like, hey, I really connected with that. Even when somebody got my autograph, like, okay. They came up to say, can I get your autograph? I thought they were joking. I said, oh, you're funny. Said, no, I really want your autograph. So I wrote the autograph. So it was pretty cool.
That's what's up. And I feel you with the humility. Oh, if I reach one person, man, we ain't doing that this year. We trying to reach thousands of people, because you never really know. Again, going back to our stories are powerful. And one of the things we talked about this on the show, both on and off, the world is getting lonelier and lonelier. Thank goodness we have the technology to convene right now and so forth. But people are out here dealing with chronic loneliness. And sometimes the story just reminds you that you are not alone. So thousands of people to be able to experience that yeah, you can isolate and come out stronger, right? You can do those things. We're going to get into what the talk in and of itself is about, but sometimes that is the thing that somebody needs to hear to get reignited, to be recommitted to why they're here. We all here. We just passing through, suffering and sucking up air. We're here with purpose, hopefully. So I love that you're like, oh, if I reach one person, it's good. But nah, we ain't doing that one person in 2026. We ain't doing that. We doing thousands of people. But I don't want to do what I normally do, take over the interview. I'm gonna let my co-host dip in a little bit. But no, shout out. Like, I'm so excited to hear about just the substance of the conversation, of the talk in and of itself, and how you came up with it.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear about. You don't have to worry, Rashawn. It's about you're always repping nice. So yeah, about that subject matter. Firstly, like, what was your introduction, and what made you know? How did you get to this point of knowing this was what you wanted to speak about?
So I had a crazy story. And so when they said transformation was the title, I said, oh, wow, I could talk about it. So when I was 14 years old, I just kept on having the same vision of myself in the future, of like me. And I say it in the talk, wandering the earth alone, with nowhere to go and no one to talk to. So I talk about in the talk is that the synchronicity. So psychologist Carl Jung talks about synchronicity of like mysterious moments that have meaning and connect. So the 14-year-old me saw the vision, and then 28 years later, the vision actually happened. Like, it was in the same vision of what the 14-year-old did. So I was talking about quantum mechanics and physics, how things are. It's not. So people use quantum physics for metaphors, right? For what is happening in the world that we don't understand and things like that. So that was basically to talk about the quantum mechanics of seeing the vision at 14, but being able to use that moment as not letting my present control my future, but letting the future control my present. And I was saying how when I was in that, I was homeless. I was in the car, in my car with all my stuff that I had, but the vision of my future, of like a successful future, a successful person, it drew me in. So I was like using the energy from that future self to kind of keep myself up and going. And I was creating stuff. Like, I saw my future self needed an MBA to get to the next job where they were working on. So I'm working on my MBA now to get the MBA, and my future self needed emotional intelligence. So I'm working and reading and trying to get those steps there. So what I was trying to tell the crowd is like, re-engineer your life, and I try to put in different things. So I put ancient Kemet and Africa, because they were before modern science, or what we technically call modern science. And I told about how they talked about human consciousness and higher awareness. And then I try to bring like the Native Americans. I try to bring different cultures to say, hey, it's not just these scientists that you hear in your book. It's like, we were talking about this. Native Americans were talking about this. And it's not, because sometimes when I talk about quantum mechanics or physics, people are like, over your head. But it's like, no, it's been concepts that our people have been talking about. It's just not doesn't say quantum mechanics. It's just, different things. So I was trying to make it plain. It's like, hey, all over this world, we're talking about this higher awareness and getting to a higher awareness. And I was just trying to let the crowd know, let's re-engineer our futures by using what the future has, so we can be better and better ourselves.
Wow. Yo, IV button. Dude, that was legitness.
For sure. Like, I mean, I was just gonna say, like, the persevering story is something, again, to be applauded. I think that this is where, we talk about Afrofuturism, and we're going to get to what that is, what it means to each of us, because I know as Afrofuturists, it means it could mean something different to each of us. But that story of being able to see yourself in the future, not necessarily knowing what it means, right? Trying to figure it all out at a young age. Having the sensory, I feel like I've been here, that deja vu. And you can talk about Carl Jung and the synchronicity, right? It really is championing. It's trust yourself, no matter what. Trust yourself, in the hardest of times, and that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Because for real, like, you get to, your back is up against the wall, and everything that all of the wisdom sometimes it's just out the window, so you just have to remind yourself, like, I got this. It's all good. I've been here before in a parallel universe. I'm just trying to catch up to myself. And that's, some of the premise of Afrofuturism. But I love that you drew on that, and that is what gave you the insight to know to walk your own path. Like, that's dope. I believe we, especially us Black folks, I believe we come here with that superpower.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Afrofuturist or not, I believe we come here with that superpower. So that's dope. Super dope. Super dope.
Yeah, like to see a moment. It's super powerful. I love that as well. And you also mentioned the accessibility, which is such a big thing. It's like things get made so confusing because of big words or because of ideas of who should be doing what. And like you mentioned, the fact of the matter is we were always there. And what looking at that future, I love how you said that future moment where you want to, it's like time travel. And it's also like a way of just having purpose, which is something that even in rites of passage programs, one African-centered rites of passage, it's like we need to, that's one of the pillars, as well as respecting our elders, as well as respecting, appreciating our ancestors and knowing what we've done. So when you go back, we were almost going to talk about research that now is showing that they believe hydraulics were used in the pyramids. And, so for us to think that we can't do it. So back then, I wonder, I'm just curious what kind of environment you were in. Was that like, for you to kind of see the world, and did you say right now you're doing your master's program?
Yeah, I'm an MBA for project management.
Oh, MBA. Okay, I was gonna ask what area of focus. Okay, wonderful.
Business administration, right?
Correct. Yeah. Master's in business administration. Wow. Anyways, that just blew my mind. Definitely. I just wanted to maybe go into the Afrofuturism. Are we ready for the Afrofuturism, Rashanis, or you gotta?
I think so. I mean, who here identifies as an Afrofuturist? Say I.
Anybody in the chat identify as Afrofuturist?
And if you identify as an Afrofuturist, what does that mean to you? I mean, first off, we gotta we gotta talk to Dr. Smart about it. I love that you're getting this MBA in project management. That project management, y'all, don't sleep, is going to be a skill that is, I don't know that it'll ever drop off. And it's something that the robots just simply cannot do on a human level. When we're talking about human-centered design, systems thinking, there's so many attributes to it. So I love that you're getting an MBA, and that shout out to you for that. But what does being an Afrofuturist mean to you? What does that mean to you?
So I think you touched on it, a little piece of it when you were talking about Sinners. You say you didn't see Sinners, right?
I finally saw it, but I hadn't seen it when it first came out, and everybody else was talking about it, like, oh my God, and I didn't see it. And when I did see it, I was like, oh, I need to be quiet for the rest of the day. It was just that powerful.
So spoiler alert to the crowd if you haven't seen it. But just like if you saw Preacher Boy when he was doing the music and how it was the future music and the past music all connecting, that's for me is the ancestral energy flowing from, and not being linear. It's just being flowing all around us. And that's what one of the probably the highest praise I've ever heard a writer, Toni Morrison. Somebody said that her writing it fixed the broken ancestral energy that was going on in life. And I said, what a a powerful message of your writing was that. So when I saw Sinners, I thought about that, how some of us, or all of us, have the energy to fix that with their skills, the talents, because we all have a God-given talent, a God-given driven force in us. We just have to tap it. out, so in us tapping our potential is, healing that ancestral energy. So that's when I think of Afrofuturism, I just think of how we are tied to the past, the present, the future, all connected. And what I say also in the TED Talk was about talk to the child that you once were, talk to the ancestor you're becoming, talk to the spirit you one day will be, and that's your path. So you are connecting to your child self, you're talking to your ancestral self and your spirit self, and it's all one for your path. So
oh man, I love that for so many reasons. Because just last week we had the beautiful Lori Lodade, and we talked about the role of acting and being one with in spirit and in truth. And a lot of this really is spiritual work, especially when we think about the ancestry, right? We know that accounting for decades of ancestry, it's within us. It's within us, right? We know that child that we used to be it's in us, our children in us, and future selves, our grandchildren, so forth. That lineage really is, I think, the product of Afrofuturism, right? I really, so I love that answer. So rich, so rich. Wow. Okay. There's so much more to say about that, but with that thought, you given us some premise for what you see it as, and I know you're gonna have a good one for this. So, how do you believe that Afrofuturism has and can ignite the revolution? We talk about this revolution often and how it might not be televised, but how do you think it's going to fuel that revolution?
I mean, I think just like shows like You Have in Hair, where you are making it like you guys talk about the wholeness. If you think about your show, like you talk about on the food we're eating, you're talking about the tech that we're doing, you're talking about the music that we put in our, the things that we're listening to, everything like that. So it all ties into how we are building our future, from ground up to the future. So, I was talking to somebody who's raising a child and they're homeschooling them and they're creating different things. Even I think on the show you had someone who like curated their own YouTube, and just being able to build and grow from the premises of what we have. So a lot of times we lose we lose the recipes a lot of times, where we are forgetting the different things that we're doing, or forgetting, like I was talking to somebody who was saying like the houses that we have aren't so aren't as great as they used to be. And I was like, my grandfather, who had a fifth grade education, built these houses that are still standing 100 years later. Like they're just, the only thing they need is like modernized, but they're still standing solid. So there's a lot of stuff that we were able to do. And that's what I just think about, is that us tying back to past to go to the future and be able to build, and just with our tools, the things that we have. And a lot of it's in our mind, a lot of stuff that, and that's what it's meant to be, like a lot of stuff to keep us from being great, building us down, burying us, trying to bury us. But we just can't stay where you're buried. We got to get up and we got to move forward. And we had to be vocal, because what they say, love is what justice is in public. We just have to keep on pushing and taking care of each other.
That's the revolution.
Mm-hmm.
That's the revolution. Real talk. It does require us to, detach from, the story that we've always suffered. Going back to, like you was talking about your grandfather, and even with physics and quantum leaping, right? When we start conceptualizing some of these ideologies, and we're thinking we're so far removed from it, it's really, we know what quantum physics is. We are quantum physics. We know what quantum leaping is, as an ability afforded to us by being an Afrofuturist. We know what seeing into the future is, having, again, deja vu, all these things that are associated with futurism. And having a hankling and having a feeling, and something told me like this is what we have always identified with as Black folk, right? And even Indigenous folks, like when we talk about this across the board, it's the revolution really is trusting who we think we are and being reunited with that. Whether you had a formal education or not, there's a lot of our elders and ancestors, second grade, fifth grade, couldn't quote unquote read well, but were highly intelligent, right?
But you're still biting their ideas and processes.
Absolutely. 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 And I think, you know, to your point, when we're talking about this all the time as Afrofuturists, knowing that that is such a rich history, for me, I know it obligates me to uphold that and to construct on purpose, right? To make sure that my children know, my grandchildren know. I've often said this in terms of, and I used to sell life insurance. Like, if I'm gonna leave you anything, it's gonna be my IP, because you should be able to take that and do something with that, right? Do something with that that'll leave you much better off than before I got here. So when we think about that legacy and how Afrofuturism really does have the potential to ignite the revolution, I would ask any and everyone to start seeing yourself as an Afrofuturist, because you, at one point or another, you've had beyond the vision, you've had beyond the feeling, you know what you're here to create. So I love that answer. I love that answer. Yeah. Any Afrofuturists in the chat? I'm sure there are. I'm almost positive there are. So with that, what would you say? Because this will be my last question. Because again, two of our hosts have not had a chance to ask any questions, and I want to give them an opportunity. What would you say your advice would be for someone who is looking to transform themselves, looking to trust themselves, you know, with the visions, with the things that are coming to them? What would you say to them?
Yeah, you know, I think you do have to look at, hey, when you were a child, what was the dream, the vision you had before like the world squashed that? Like, what was the dream that you wanted to do? What was it that you had the vision to do? And also just re-engineering it. Like a lot of times we see something. I have a friend, shout out, she re-engineered how to make $2 million. And I was like, wow, $2 million is a lot. But when she re-engineered it, she's like, step one is this, step two. And it's like, wow, it's not, if you're looking at like $2 million, it's like, wow, $2 million. But then if you look at like piece by piece, then you see like, okay, this is also obtainable. Like, wow, you know, and just, and also being what they don't understand. I think a lot of times we group think too much, where it's like, okay, yeah, this guy didn't do it, I couldn't do it. I was talking to somebody today who was like, well, I saw such and such wasn't able to do this. I said, well, break the mold. You break the mold. You can break the mold. Like, there's a bunch of people that can give you the information. You just have to be able to have faith in yourself to do it. So I think a lot of times that's what I see, is just being able to do what they don't understand, do what they don't understand, and have the faith that you can do it. And a lot of times you're going to fall. And when you fall, get back up, keep on moving, and just put it down. I think another thing I want to say is a lot of times we see things that we just don't understand. Like, even if you go back to like George Washington Carver, like you were like, oh, these guys talking to the plants, like what's wrong, you know, and then he's like, I'm listening to what the plants need for me to create. And it's just the different things that you have, the skills, the talent that you have, and somebody may not understand it, so they try to tell you what you can't do or what you can't do, but you have to know what you bring to the table is going to build for the others around you. And it gives people permission. Like sometimes you do something and somebody, it's the weirdest thing. It unlocks something. When you do something and you say, oh, I didn't know I was allowed to do that. And then you don't know who you're unlocking to be able to do that coming forward. So you just keep on building backwards and forwards. You're helping You know, from your child to the adults, even, you know, your elders, you're helping them create as well.
Right.
So good. Like, first of all, I'm stuck on we groupthink too much. Being misunderstood used to be a curse. And when I started embracing it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be misunderstood. So
Legitness. Yeah.
real talk. I was just IB. I'm like, if I had buttons, it would be so many buttons over here right now. Like, because it's real, you know, and our ingenuity sometimes can be perceived as wacky, weird, you know, and again, that isolates you for a long time. And that isolation, you know, serves a purpose, right? You can do some of your best heavy lifting in that isolation at times. Which this segues right into the group thing, right? Someone else's thoughts of how they can't and won't, and oh, you know, somebody said this to me last week, and this has been often occurring. Like, you got too many dreams. It's like, well, you ain't got enough fucking dreams. Like, what? Who got too many dreams? Like, but again, I considered the source, right? Who I was talking to, and that's something that we have to be aware of when we're bestowed with certain gifts. I've told, you know, my colleagues here on the show, like, I'm a self-taught producer. I've loved music all my life. Never, ever like, oh, one day I'm going to do it. One day I'm going to do it. Sat down and just started tinkering. And I'm like, yo, I'm dope. And I credit that to my ancestry. I credit that to, you know, the spirit, right? It's not me. Yeah. I didn't know how to do it, right? Now you can't keep me away from being in the studio. But I say that to say it was giving myself permission to see that. And that's something that is why I still teach, is why I still have my literacy development company, is why I encourage children. Like, you don't know. You don't know. You don't know. You don't have enough prior knowledge to make a decision about what you can and cannot do. You haven't given yourself an opportunity. You haven't given yourself the time to practice. There's no such thing as perfection. There's only perfect practice. So I love that. But again, I said I wasn't gonna hold it up. We got two hosts that ain't saying nothing.
But I want to slide it to them. Just want to say the other amazing thing about just not being inhibited and thinking you should be in a box, which we were talking about that before, is just everything has an impact on other things you may choose to do, as opposed to just seeing the world in these slices that are isolated and divided. That's not our culture. Being culture weak, I would say, you know, that material way is truly not us in a healthy state. So I would say Afrofuturism is health. But I do want to ask either Ivy or Black Simon, what y'all thinking? What y'all may want to have to say to this Mr. Dr. Smart?
I'm gonna leave the floor to Black Simon because he on video right now.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm still super excited about it. No, we just wanted to make sure you weren't a robot.
Never ends. Dr. Smart, I want to know, and I haven't read your book, Symbolic. Do you have a copy of it handy? Or I haven't read your book, but it looks really, really interesting. What do you see as the future for Black people? Like, what is your vision for the future for Black people? Like, I don't mean to like put you in a box or put us or say this is what he's predicting. I'm just saying, what do you see as the future of Black people and what that means to you?
So for me, what I've been doing is I've been creating programs to help people transition careers, and not just transition careers, but be able to transition the whole self. So fixing the mindset, helping people who have been dealing with trauma and different things like that. So the wellness side, and then financial side, like financial education. And then ultimately my goal is before you transition, I'm like taking care of your debt, like all the debt you had and all the stuff that held you back, that you go into this new career with like a fresh mindset of, I don't have this debt, I don't have these things here that I can build and grow, and be able to help your family and everyone be able to build, and then also connect with others to be able to be, lead the way. So I think a lot of times what it's going to be is us together doing it. I think, so much individuality happens, and then we're all fighting for this piece of pie where we can all just come together and put together. So, there's a saying that says, I can't heal everything the world needs, but the world needs everything I can do to heal. So I think it's just, I focus on this part, you focus on that part, you focus on that part, and we're hoping that we all come together. But my circle, I'm just trying to, one person at a time. If it takes more, then I'm going to keep on doing that. But being able to, my main thing going in the future for us is our financial understanding, wellness, and be able to take care of ourselves, because a lot of times that's where it is. Because I have had some test subjects with the financial side where I'm trying to help them see that, okay, we helped you with your rent this month. That doesn't mean you go to Belize or anywhere. Let's just slow down, put the money in the savings. Your rent has been paid. Your rent is paid. You don't have to pay your rent this month. Just focus on, let's save a little bit so we can get to you the next month. So, and that's the hardest thing, is the financial part. And even myself, I'm not even saying I need a lot of more education for the financial side too. But so going to the future, that's what my plan is, just getting us financially aware and stronger and be able to take care of each other. That's what I'm looking to.
I mean,
go ahead, please.
I was just going to say, community is in our culture. Mm-hmm. We got to do this together. We need each other. Mm-hmm. If you want to go far, go together. Mm-hmm. If you want to go fast, go by your damn self. Mm-hmm. It's true. So I love that response. And just bettering yourself every day. Go ahead, Symbolic. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
Oh, no, you're good. It was right along those same lines. And it was that, we have the same culture. We're thinking the same because we're about solutions. And so I was, what you described literally was solutions. We're always saying, well, it's about solutions. And so I was going to ask, is there a way that we can plug in terms of what you do as a program? Do you have tools and so forth that potentially we can benefit from the work that you do? Definitely, I'd love to explore that. So off the top, any thoughts on that, Dr. Smart?
So now I'm on the ground level. So I have like a test subject that I'm trying to learn to see what needs to be done. So I created a financial game, because a lot of times I had like financial information and it was getting lost. Like, I don't want to read that. So I created it into a financial game. But I realized that the financial side is really deep. So I may have to invest into like a financial planner or someone to be able to like individually help the people that are going to come into my program. So the program is called Bury You program.
Right.
Yeah. So when I was homeless, before I became homeless, like a couple of days before, there was a sermon and it was saying, you can't stay where they try to bury you. And it just resonated so much. So when I was going through what I was going through, I was like, I could have gone back and like made it easier. Like I could have gone back to a situation and things and said, okay, that'll get me out. But as that thing just kept on saying, you can't stay where they try to bury you, can't stay. So it made me go forward. So the program's Bury You. And it's basically saying that we're building you to get to the point. So the transition is holistically, you're transitioning holistically into your purpose. So instead of just a job, your purpose of what you're trying to do.
That's dope. I love that because we do often hear, "Oh, just tough it out," like that struggle love. It's like, no, this is that. It's tried to kill me several times. Why would I stay here? It's just stupid. So that bury you, and I love that you just that analogy is now a program. We're going to stay in touch with you on this solution because we are excited to see and play this game ourselves. We have some interesting things coming up in the next couple of months that we're adding to the Talk Show On Point lineup. Okay. I think that game will be phenomenal. Before I like officially thank you for all of this wisdom, just want to make sure our other hosts, I know IVProduced is running that board. Did you have anything for Dr. Smart?
Yeah, we got one more question we can ask. So, well, actually, it's a two-part question. Two questions. Was there ever a time when you thought that you wasn't? Or, no, that's not the right. That's not the right way to ask the question. Take a step back. Was there a time that you remember, at least, before you considered yourself an Afrofuturist?
Yeah, so I went to Florida A&M University. Damn you if you nasty. And when I went to school there, it was like three educations, right? So they taught you like what you needed for your career, and they taught you what you needed like as a Black person in this world, and then there was like the knowledge of like meet me off campus at 12 at night, and let's talk about the real. And then so with the real information, it was like, wow, this world that I'm in, it has like a different dimension, right? So it was a lot of stuff that was going on in like the city I was in, or just overall that was like these hidden societies and these secret societies, and how this guy's hand was shaking this guy's hand. And this reporter, this guy, he was going to jail and different things, trying to take these pictures, and he would show us like, hey, the college, the college coach and the governor are in a meeting right now with these guys, and they just made some deals that nobody knows about, but their families got taken care of, and their families got taken care of, and their generational wealth is growing while we are sitting here and not knowing what's happening. So he would break into places and stuff like that, and try to show us like, hey, this is what's happening on the surface. So that's when my mind opened up, and I saw different things, and then I started talking to people who had these encounters and things that were happening, and it was just wow. And at that time, when I was a kid, I had an idea for a book. So that's what the Ashes from Tuskegee came from. But I had an idea for a book, so I was just using a lot of the stuff that I was learning from these like 12 a.m. sessions, meeting people and stuff, and I kind of combined them into different characters, and I embellished it for the story, of course. But a lot of the stuff in the book, there were like pieces of like people doing these things and stuff like that. So, and that's when Afrofuturism came, because it was like I just kept on seeing these different things, and it's like, wow. And I think at that time I didn't put together everything. And then I was reading this book called what is it called? Holographic Universe. So this book called Holographic Universe, it showed me like, wow, what I wrote, because I have a character that can teleport. So it's talking about teleportation in the book. And then I have a character that has astral plane, astral projection. And then it's talking about that in the book. And it's like, wow, a lot of stuff, the synchronicity is just crazy. But yeah.
So the second part of my question is, how have your beliefs changed since being introduced to Afrofuturism?
Oh, it changed a lot. It was making me see things different. So coming in to that situation, I grew up in a place where it was a transitional town. Where I grew up, it was all white, factory town. that was transitioning into minorities, and things were coming into town. So it was like a clash of like, okay, this is happening. My white city is not going to be, and then it was just a lot of mixing and things like that. So a lot of my experience was negative, like a lot of negative stuff about us, and not getting through. It's like we, battling different things and family members and things like that. So coming into um, a situation where I was able to freely understand us and not be in a situation where it was just like I had to deal with like skinheads and stuff like that. It was like intense. Like I got a chance of DN, and you can know what the N means, dead end. So I got those chants. So it was like dealing in that space. I was always on high alert, so I wasn't able to soak in information. It was more so protecting myself. So I was always in a protective state. So I wasn't able to appreciate us, or appreciate the knowledge. It was just like protecting myself from knowledge. So it was able. So when I was able to get into a place where I could understand us and be loved by us and for us, I was able to see different paths of how we can be and how different we are. We're not a monolith. Like everyone has their different parts and things, but you can learn from each other. You're doing this, I'm doing that, and it's pretty cool. Especially, if I get lost, I was lost in translation a lot of times, which was pretty cool. Like I was in a room where the Haitians were talking Creole, and then the Spanish was talking Spanish, but it was really just like beautiful. Like I'm just in the middle, and everybody's like doing their thing, and I'm like, I'm here, but I don't know what anybody's saying. But
My question is, did you grow up in Oakville, Ontario?
So where I grew up, I didn't know. I thought it was for real, but the old people used to say, David Duke. I don't know if a lot of people may not know who David Duke was. He was
definitely.
Yeah.
He's a big fan of the show.
Oh God.
Say where I grew up, the town over, David Duke was born, but he wasn't born there. They're just saying it was so racist that that's where he was born. But
So
yeah.
wait, so the town is like, if he was born here, this is where he would have been born at.
Yeah. So the town over had a sign saying no colors allowed. But then they told when we like boycotted and stuff like that for the police, they said, "Oh, we just met biker gangs." That we never seen a biker gang ever. So no colors allowed in the bar. So.
I mean, some of the things that, again, you talked about that resilience, and I know that resilience can be understated, but we are the most resilient people ever. To just keep coming back no matter what we've endured, and that's a superpower, I believe. Directly connected to Afrofuturism, because some of us imagine a different reality, a different present future for ourselves. So it's been absolutely wonderful having you to be our guest. This is what we do, ladies and gentlemen. We everybody's community here, everybody's family here. And we are so proud of Dr. Smart doing big things. Can't wait to see what's going on with Barry U. Like, I really do want to play this game.
Yeah.
And just thank you for all the love and support. Super excited for your next chapter. Thank you for being here.
And before you go, we do have our lightning round. We do have a couple of questions for you. Firstly, before that, I'm just curious. We'd like to ask. You mentioned the realm, but if mentorship has played a part, do you have any elders that you shout out? Sharper than they, sharper one. Mm-hmm. Thank you for being here. Do you have any elders that you would like to give some elder love?
Well, I want to give some love to some elders. Yeah. So there was a teacher, a bunch of teachers. So there was a couple, the Denards. So Dr. Dana Denard, Dr. Sharon Denard. They were married. They were both professors. Dr. Dana Denard was basically, he was the calm, and he was like breaking down things and talking to us about our roots and things like that. But Dr. Sharon Denard, she was about like action. Like she was right in your face about it, and she would not let you hesitate to say this is what it is. So they were a big part of a lot of stuff that I did. And the lot of stuff that they would say in class, it was like I would be writing it down for like, not for learning the lesson, but I was like, oh man, I need to know this just in life in general. So I had like a life in general book, and I had the school book. And their life in general book, a lot of the stuff I used with the writing of the book, because it was so like rich of like how the character, like my character I sell in my head, I used a lot of their concepts and things like that. And they have books and stuff, so I read their books as well. But some people that are not and we wouldn't consider them ancestors, but I think someone said it in your show before, like you got to give props to people. And I mentioned her in the TED Talks. So there's this lady, Sapphire Bardot. I post her a lot of her stuff all the time, but he has, it was just, and so this is where I talk about futurists as well. The stuff that synchronizes to where I'm at a lot of times, like stuff that connects her. So she had a podcast, it's called Dear Safi, and it just hit me at the right time. Like I needed, because I'm working on myself, growing, so it hit me at the right time. Then from that podcast, she had a book called Unmasking Me. And I read that, and it was like, wow, like this is so much of the stuff that I had. So the Unmasking Me really helped me have the confidence to apply for the TED Talk. So like a lot of stuff is just, you never know what you're hearing, seeing. So that's what, definitely put out what you are putting out. Like if you have something you got to say, that's why, and we were joking, said that we're reaching for thousands, but definitely you never know the one person that needs to hear what you got to say. You never know the one person that is like, yes, I need to hear that, or I need to connect that. Because if you even look at my socials, like I don't have like a big following, or I don't have a big massive post or whatever, but you never know who sees you and thinks that you have something to say. So definitely put out your information and things like that.
I would say go follow Authored Style.
Absolutely.
You heard the wisdoms.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And shout out to you for always sharing too. It's just like you just talked about the one sister that inspired you. Like, this is what we do. It's in our culture to see and recognize ourselves. That's why representation is so important. To see ourselves in each other when we're standing up for what we know is true. So yeah, I love that. And again, thank you for always sharing. Thank you for always being positive. Although, sometimes it's not always positive. I really appreciated your story because again, as the old folks say, keep living. Some of us haven't experienced certain things and we don't know. But when, somebody shares the story, it really can it can bring us home to ourselves. So yeah.
And on that note, we're going to finalize the lightning round. If we good. All right. Yo, make them big. Dr. Smart is about to answer.
All right.
What is a technology that you use every day? Or yes, every day.
My two phones. So my two phones that basically have all the stuff I'm writing, making sure I'm connecting with people. If I don't have them, I'm toast. Yeah. So
nice. Very that sounds like the world we're living in. Now, lastly, I want to ask you, what is a technology, Dr. Smart, that you miss?
Yes. So I grew up in Connecticut. In Connecticut, where I lived, it was called the Long Island Sound. And it was called the Long Island Sound because where I lived, if you went on top of there was like a hill near my school. You could see New York from the hill. And where I live, I could get the radio waves. So my boombox, I would make mixtapes because I had I could get the New York radio station, and not the daytime New York radio station, late night. So late night.
Oh, Quiet Storm?
Was that
Quiet Storm?
Oh no, late night. They used to break artists, they used to break hip hop artists that I never heard before again, but they would have their music out there and they'd try them, their music, hey, do you like this? And it was just Street Jam exclusives, and it would be different things, and I would tape it. So that would be my thing, and I tried to sell it. I tried to sell the mixtapes, but I was so excited. I wanted people to have them, so I would just be giving them. And people would call my house a lot for the tapes, and my mom's like, "Are you a drug dealer?" No, I'm not a drug dealer. They just want a mixtape. They just want mixtapes. But yeah, the double cassette boombox is what I live by. And I even talk about it in the TED Talks about me living by the boombox. So yeah,
I think that boombox is a frequent. I think a lot of people miss that boombox for real. I know I do for sure.
I had one, and the reason why I was saying Quiet Storm is because you described something exactly like word
Quiet
for
Storm.
word.
Yeah,
for me that we used to do back in Oakville. Symbolic. He didn't do it. I did it.
No, I'm not. I'm down boo to Oakville, not to your all this is good.
But yeah, we used to do the same, exactly the same thing. And because there wasn't we at that time on the radio, there was no black.
They were punking us. They were punking us. You had to find the stuff.
No black music. So we'd have to tune into we get the radio signals, and we would record, and then everyone would pass around those tapes. We did the exact same thing. It's strange that culturally we were not so far apart, but yet so close together. We did the exact same things at the exact same time.
Frequencies, yep.
Beautiful.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
But I did make Quiet Storm tapes too. So I did make some Quiet Storm mixes for the, some of the dudes. They had I got a date night. Can you make me yes? I made the Quiet Storm mixes. Yeah.
Well, I want to second what Rashanis was saying, Dr. Smart. As far as those, it's good to reminisce. That's why we want to ask those. We're asking those questions of number of people. And yes, these ones are recurring, but you said it in a very, very special way. It was the combination was one of a kind. And so thank you so much. We look forward to, building community, to creating resources, solutions, supporting, and sharing. So y'all, like we can say, if you're listening right now, if you're listening in the future, please do jump on the platform and look for Authored Style. That's Dr. Smart, and show love. Let's make it our culture.
Absolutely.
And we are going to be playing a very special song today, a track by IVProduced. And but thank you so much, and let's keep it moving.
For sure. You hopefully you hang out with us the next couple of weeks. Next week we have a very special guest, culture across borders, all the way across the border. That's going to be incredible. And then April 15th is Tech Week, and we got something special. Speaking of Tech Week, I think it's time to announce. I know I am Coach Millie. She came through. She said she had to hop off early. But I think we should tell the people while we're playing this brand new track by IVProduced that we is slanging Mo Pie.
Oh, yeah.
Win Mo Pie.
Win Mo Pie. What that QR? There it is. Scan that QR code, y'all. There's another chance to win another pie. We serving it up. Yeah.
So
not only can you win it, but you can also build it. And that's what we do here. We build
things. We do. We build things.
Mark had mentioned Toni Morrison. and Toni Morrison's writing style is highly influential in the saying "Win more pie."
Oh, come on. That was so smooth, man. Like I can't even let me. That
Win.
was so smooth. Win mo pie.
I was like, I'm saying it how Toni Morrison was writing because we were trying to figure out how to spell it, and I was like, I'm saying it how Toni Morrison write it. Win more pie.
Win mo pie. Yeah, Dr. True Love said, I need to re-listen to this amazing story, Doctor. Amazing show. That's what's up. Salute, fam. We're so glad you came through. This show, whether you're watching it right now, whether you are watching it later, we're live on Twitch and YouTube. Tell your friends, like Symbolic said, tell a friend, a friend, a friend, a friend, a friend. Tell your whole family. Seriously, this is what we do here on Talk Show On Point. Everybody's community. But without further ado, let's get into this track.
So this is a rough draft that I made just about a year ago. So and what I'm saying, we gonna go ahead and play the track.
Let's go. Wait, what? Did you not press play? Can y'all hear anything?
I can't hear you at all.
Oh,
And I was distracted because somebody scanned the QR code.
yeah.
Same here. It was
Scan that. Just like we DIYing, we making tracks. We are going to be DIYing on some technology just now, and sharing what we're building.
I wanted to give a little preface.
Okay.
I made everything. You know what I'm saying? I did everything on the joint. So.
Look, press that shoulder.
Always favored, never waver, someone's looking out. Mama never taught me to be out here chasing clout. Mama taught me that you gotta make your own lane. If you try to follow people, you'll go insane. Niggas out here acting like they have no brain. Self-sabotage, nigga, have some shame. Don't just stand by and help them dig your grave. Gotta stand up, don't let them change your ways. Gotta stand up, gotta be real brave. Gotta stand up, don't let crime get them paid. Gotta stand up, but narratives won't change. And we gotta stand up, we no longer staying tame. We just want the money, do they really even know? We just want the money, we just doing it for show. We just want the money, but we say they need to grow. We just want the money, why can't they see they role? Do they know which role they serve? Lead sheep like a shepherd. With the words they write or the words they say, that's how to make the people sway. Ain't no rules that they obey, that's why they only take. They can't relate to the chaos they help create. Our media manipulates the messages they show. Why won't our subjects ever hold us accountable? Don't give us money if we won't support your people. We take what we can get, and that's something that you should know.
I mean, come on. He is more than our one cybersecurity friend.
Right?
Beats in the bars, y'all.
Got the flows, got the beats, got the bass.
And I think it just fits perfectly with today's show. Yo.
A little something I was working on, nothing crazy.
It's a little prophetic too.
Nice.
I know, right?
So the thing about that one that I really liked was that it was really kind of from a couple of different perspectives. So like on the part where I was kind of like singing or like sing rapping or whatever, it was from the perspective of like them, right? Like we just want the money. Why can't they see the they roll or whatever? Like we just want the money, It's like those are the companies, right? Like there's a couple weeks ago there was a Dr. Broche said, who you give power to is who has power. and who you give your dollar to is who have power. It's like we just want the money. Why can't they see the play? Like we just want their money. We're not really trying to. We don't really like black people, but we glad that they buy our things. Right?
That part.
It's kind of critical of us, but also critical of them. It was like, can't y'all see that see in darkness? But
no, it was dope. I mean, it's so dope. And typically, what we do is we play new music. We are fans of incredible music. Of course, we keep it positive. So we always ask the community, yo, if you got some new music that you love and that you vibing, yeah, remember, support the artists you know first. Everybody knows
independent artists you
Absolutely.
know, your fams, your friends, someone in your community. Positive, non-destructive black music.
For sure. We're looking forward. And we're going to be putting out something real soon to help us curate even more of those sounds, those tunes. We got some stuff coming, but yeah, Ivy, that was smooth. He do more than just building bots, man. He got bars. He got bars.
Just trying to be creative outlet. I was frustrated with something that was going on, so I was like, you know what? Let me just write a little quick.
I'm telling you, do it every time. Every single time. I mean, for me, every single time. Okay, let me get this beat together. Let me get these vocals together. But love that. I think we might be missing one more thing. We're doing pretty good on time. I think we're missing one more thing. Our very own Symbolic had a chance to take a community outing. Did a single field trip, following up on our beautiful previous guest, Jasmine Vanstone. She had a wonderful event on the weekend. Symbolic, you want to give us a report on that?
Absolutely. Let's run this. It's Verses and Vision event in Toronto.
Waving in the air, sending vibes everywhere. Let me wipe away your tears. I'm the nappy hair waving in the air, sending vibes everywhere. Let me wipe away your tears. I'm the nappy hair waving in the air, sending vibes everywhere. The hand to wipe away your tears. I'm the nappy hair waving in the air, sending vibes everywhere. Let me wipe away your tears. I'll be the tools, the hands, and at the same time the brain central command. I'll be the tongue, telling bitter tales of brothers hung through songs sung. Plus bust about the sweet taste of victory when we won. When we won, people force severe. The ear to hear or the legs to take to there. My song will be the barn, the joint between the bicep and the forearm. With the finger on the detonation device for the bomb. So enemies are forewarned. Tragic, hope your magic, fuck the wand. This black eye will be the eye, constantly gazing at the sky. The muscle of pride, the common sense to wonder why. The wings to fly, cutting my piece of the pie. I'm the nappy hair waving in the air, sending vibes everywhere. Let me wipe away your tears. I'm the nappy hair waving in the air, sending vibes everywhere. Let me wipe away your tears. I'm the nappy hair waving in the air, sending vibes everywhere. The hand to wipe away your tears. I'm the nappy hair waving in the air, sending vibes everywhere.
All right. So basically, firstly, you saw myself and Jasmine in a couple photos there, who was a guest on Talk Show on Point, and let us know about Verse and Vision, an event that was taking place on the 29th of this month. So it sounded like I rolled alone, but I was rolling with the whole crew. The whole Talk Show on Point crew was with me in spirit, and it was an amazing vibe. So firstly, it's in this theater. It's the Drake Underground. So there's a spot in Toronto on Queen Street West called the Drake, and downstairs they have this space. It's more like a theater. I hadn't been there in so long, and so and and this was, I think it was like the 6th or 7th. So they do them a couple times a year, not once a year. I think we may have said it like it's yearly, but it's actually a program that they run. So this was the result of the program, which gets people out of their comfort zone. For example, they'll take people who have some poetry experience and get them to do visual art to go along for the live performance, or people who do visual art, they'll get them to do poetry and kind of get them to work together, and it all culminates into this event. So like I was saying, it was a very nice, it was like you're in this theater, all the lights are all, you know, dark, but a very nice place. And for example, one that I remember, someone did this, it was a young person. I wanted to ask if it was them or their child, but this child they put onto this dollar bill. Some of them were fun with these lips that were moving, talking. They had different statements they were making, visual to complement, but there was also a talk at the end of it. And so they were talking about the process and about how they were uncomfortable when the program began. So that's one thing I want to really highlight is I think is really amazing that they made a program. Go and follow Verse Visuals and Expression, something to that effect is their IG. They'll be doing another one. They'll have another cohort. And it was just a great vibe, especially then the artist talk that they had at the end, super casual. You saw the scenes where everyone is sitting out on stage. They brought a previous cohort. Shout out Javon. I found out he is just moving out of Toronto. He's going to move out to the west of Canada. So he said, I'm not going to see you again because I'm moving. And I'm like, wait, what did you say? Like, glad to saw you because I'm out of here. I'm like, wow, he's a young artist. So I found out he was affiliated. So that's another thing. When we see that we're doing certain works, you see how the synchronicity, as Dr. Smart spoke to, the different people doing work that ends up connecting and really making an impact. So shout out, big up Jasmine, big up her partner. I'm so sorry, I forgot Christine. I'm sorry, Verse and Visuals, Verse and Visualizations project. It was 5 thumbs up.
Yeah, congratulations. I was so happy to see that. Articulately Jasmine is her handle. Articulately _ Jasmine is her handle. I sent her a message just saying congratulations. You could just tell like it looked so authentic, so much love. And shout out to Jasmine for curating that. You know, I've always said you're an organizer, and the energy they embody really does set the tone for the event. So you can tell that it was all jazz. Like it was all jazz. So it's wonderful that you were able to go.
Yeah. And that we were able to rep. So
that was legitness.
And it was mentioned because remember we did say, wow, we love what you're doing. There's the food, gardening, the expressive, the art. We should do some stuff in the future. And it was like, oh, I'm doing this thing. And so at the event, Jasmine was like, oh, I'm glad you're able to see this is the space that we do events at. So maybe it's great for you to see. So in other words, maybe we'll collab and be in that space. Maybe y'all will see us up close in that spot.
I'm right now trying to like plan my getaway back to Toronto. Like, yeah, I really am. And I want to say this. So we went from IVProduced playing brand new music to that soundtrack that was on that video of the event was symbolic, nappy hair. And that leads us to the end of the night.
The first like the top of the
sorry, Ivy, you need to turn yourself up a little bit.
I was saying that I like the pocket that you get in because it's not like on beat. Like you speak between you rhyme between the beats.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're muffled, Ivy. You're a little bit. Whoa,
you're very low, very low.
Let's see.
There we go.
Now you sound like you're whispering and you sound super clear. Let's see.
It's probably my gating.
It is. I'm like, I'm gonna break this gate.
Let me see.
Oh, I see. Oh, cool.
Cut it down. Is that a little bit better? That's a little bit better.
Yeah, man, you're good.
Coming through.
Perfecto.
Okay, let me get back to what I was doing.
Okay, so I think you were saying nice flow.
Yes, I like.
Thank you.
It's in like it's between the beats, and it's not like typical because like you expect it, but it doesn't come. It's like
well, we were talking about like how where different or nuances in who we are, how we are, and all that. That's it manifesting. Just a little bit weird like that.
It's wonderful. It is. Symbolic did our promo this week. The voiceovers. Black Simon did the visuals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do. Art
Community
for sure.
week.
Absolutely.
And it's every week. Well, what's next week?
Next week this is Culture Week. Next week is Community Week, and we have a wonderful woman that is the center of the conversation. Again, culture across borders, all the way in the UK. Super excited about
trying to connect it.
Yeah,
and ElderLove mixed in with that.
Oh
right?
Yes. So good. You got to stay tuned for that. We love and appreciate y'all, family. We appreciate y'all for hanging out with us. We'll be doing anything.
Before we go, everybody do the IV. All right.
What's the vibe?
Oh, yeah.
Vibe is popping. I'm pumped. Getting ready to jump off.
Oh man, he getting off the job tonight. I see. Okay. You good for being able to go home.
Look me directly in the eye and say that.
Wait, what is happening? What did I miss?
I'm with you, Symbolic. It's an inside joke.
All I know, G's got his camera on. Look how cool this brother looks.
I know.
Why
so cool.
Why you think we're mad when you're not on camera? Look at this guy. Hey.
So, homie.
Yeah. That's our boy.
But he
just disappeared into the fog.
With the Brady Bunch look. That's what's up, man.
Yo, what are you great? Oh no. What's the vibe? Pop in. Black Simon is popping.
The vibe is we going international, baby. We going to UK.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. My vibe is just love and appreciation vibe.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
Almost
second that.
World Cup time too.
It's time for some football,
man. Hey, I posted this thing. I wanted someone that said, Rashawn, check this out. Because it was a nice message, but it was by FIFA. So I replaced the shout out to them. I'm like, eh.
But the message was dope though. And again, paying homage, really recognizing
Patrice Lumumba and Marcus Garvey.
Yeah,
I'm like,
the
what
heritage.
is FIFA doing with this? They're not.
They gonna get on where they can. That's what they gonna do.
Exactly.
That's what they gonna do. But yeah, I fourth that vibe. Love, peace, blessings, all the things. This is what we do on Talk Show on Point. Super excited about what's coming next. And this track is dope.
Absolutely. Well,
who made this track?
I know, right? Who did that? She put her foot in it.
Some person named
definitely it's an earworm.
Rashanis.
All right, my good peoples.
We love y'all.
Y'all coming through. We're about to end this.
Peace, love.
But the black don't stop. Don't crack. Black don't crack.
Barely hear you. You're like a whisper in the background, brother.
Stay black.
That part.
There we go.
And we gonna see you the next time we do what we do. Wednesdays at 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Central. And that's all they wrote, folks.
Bye, y'all.